Hello everybody, Christian from Treasure Town here, and today we're going to be hunting another half pound of world coins in a grab bag format. We found so much. Our last hunt was incredible. You have to check it out. Some huge silver coins, really rare stuff, and I'm hoping to replicate that today. I'll be going coin by coin and explaining any history on them, or if I don't know, I always back edit, so I promise you'll come away knowing something that you didn't, as will I, after I've edited this video. Let's pour out the coins and hear a quick word from our sponsor. Before we get into this grab bag, I want to thank MA Shops for sponsoring this video. Their online marketplace, mashops.com, has a great selection of ancient US and world coins, paper money, stamps, and more. They've got a really good reputation, easy to use site, and they work with trusted dealers, so it would be a mistake to not head on over there and be aware of this awesome source for coins. Hopefully you can find something for your collection there, and with that being said, thanks to them again for sponsoring it, and let's get into the grab bag. And let's kick things off with this large aluminum coin, 5 francs, République Française. And we can see over here, I believe that this would have been the new government, or sort of the post-World War II, because the Vichy French for a little bit had taken control, but I believe that this is the new version. I'll confirm that with you after the video, or edit that back in, but do an explanation also how they treated those two different currencies. We have some British stuff, 2 new pence, as well as the pre-decimal, which was effectively like 20 pence, 2 shillings here, or 24 pence, excuse me. And then we also have, after that, an Italian 200 lire coin. 1981, they only did these for a few years, but that gear sort of representing industry. It's a relatively common thing to feature on coins, and this one from Greece also going to be part of our European start to today. That one actually interesting surfaces. The K, I don't know. I doubt that this one was produced in Greece, but I could be wrong about that. I feel like there were some different countries, they could outsource the minting process. 1878 is pretty old, so this actually might have some value. I'll give a value update because I know I have some other ones similar years that were in a little bit better condition, and they ended up being worth enough to send in. So cool start there. Again, it's always a blessing to get anything earlier than 1900. You don't get to have it guaranteed. 1928 from Portugal here, 1 escudo, and that, you see the 5, that crest is always the Portuguese one. Obviously, the rest of it was easy in determining what we were looking at, but we have a few more French, 1 franc from 1960. I think 1960 might have been the first year that they weren't doing silver. 83.5% was always the French version. And here's 2 francs, 1946, again, post-World War II. It's got the Liberté, Égalité, Fraternité. We know that that's definitely the old, or the traditional French motto, liberty, equality, brotherhood. And this is gorgeous on the front. To see this in like silver, really, really pretty when they have those larger designs. After that, this coin stuck out, Napa, so I think that's actually Para, but 1884 is way older than I expected this to be. So I was going to, I think this might be from like Serbia, but I don't know, maybe it's actually like Russia, or some sort of intermediate nation state, because I don't know, how old is Serbia or Croatia, Yugoslavia. I don't think that existed this far back. So I'll update you. Maybe it's Bulgarian. But I'm really not sure, and I'll have the information on this. This one's obviously pretty corroded. Here we see one of my favorite French designs. Really is a European bonanza today. 1911. We got the Dupuis. I sold a medal that was engraved by Dupuis for about $900 on Heritage Auctions the other day. This one is 5 centimes. Gorgeous, 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 but unfortunately, it's really been dinged up. I've been thinking about trying to purchase one of these, graded like Mint State 64 or 5, something with nice high relief, because they're just so pretty. Here we see 25 ore again from Denmark and a half penny. So we're just continuing 1967 there. All European so far. I don't think we've ever had this many in a row. 1 penny from Britain. Then another smaller penny to show, the decimalization really shrink down that size. And I mean, I'm looking here, I see 2 non-European, but for now, I'll just go quickly through Österreich 10 Groschen, so 1/10 of an Austrian shilling. They would convert into euros at about 13 to 1. Then we see 10 centimes. These would convert at like 6.5 francs would become €1 when they, and that was all fixed. And then Portugal, the Escudo, I'm not totally sure. 2.5, 1979. Again, we see a really neat ship that I'm not totally sure what that ship is either. So I'll provide you both with what craft this is. Maybe it's just a general. Portugal really was an empire of the seas. It had Brazil, but had a ton of different colonies all around the world, trade empire, really. And they've struggled. They were really a world power. And today they're probably not considered quite as strong on the global geopolitical scale. Here we have a Princess Cruises token. So I wonder if that's like a cruise line. I don't go on a ton of cruises. Let me know if you guys go on cruises, and if so, if you have any recommendations. I've never been on one in my life. But they always seem cool. They hit some interesting locations. More British pence. Now I think it's time, and we're like 6 minutes in or 5 minutes in at this point. It's our first non-European coin, and it's one Thai baht. So sort of a classic coin to start things out. Rama, I believe the 9th. I'll give a little information, because Rama the 9th always appearing on the Thai coins, but we don't necessarily always know what he's done or some of his accomplishments. So and what type of ruler he is, I'd be really interested in learning more. Again, more British European stuff. I'm just seeing all this. The ER is Elizabeth Regina. I had been wondering that. So basically just means Queen Elizabeth, but then we have a pretty elaborate crest here. Very, very cool, interesting coin. A half crown, I don't know actually how many pence is in a half crown. I really should know that, but I'm not sure. It might be like 2 shillings, 6 pence. I don't know. I'll have to update with another comment. So I'll figure that out for the future. This one, on theme from the European origin, 6 pence, George Kruger Gray. This one's 50% silver, nice World War II era coin. At 1941, the tides had not turned in the battle. This was a really sort of stressful geopolitical period back then. And we see King George VI, who had reigned through 1952. So this one, I think it's probably going to be like a $2 coin. I don't think it's particularly valuable, but it's always really exciting to find silver in any hunt. And then this one looks like it might be from that 1870 time period. These are so cool because they cared about the weight. So it's 100, so I think it's 100 pieces would make 1 kilogram. So this should be 10 grams. 1870, and there it says 10 gramos or 10 centimos. Super, super neat. So, again, we don't really think about it. We say, hey, this is a half dollar. Here's a gold dollar that's not made out of gold, and we accept it for being a dollar. That would not have or flown, a century ago with how we treated our currency. Here we see 10 new dollars, 2008, Jamaica. Always got the national heroes on their coinage. After that, we've got this pretty reflective one from Ecuador, 1986, 1 sucre. They saw massive runaway inflation as well. Started out with a currency peg in the 10s, like 1917, I think, where 1 sucre was pretty close in value to a dollar, and they ended up undoing that once it was like 25,000 to 1, about 85 years later. Great Britain, 3 pence with the portcullis. This one looks like it has some nice luster on it. 1 fair. I was thinking this could be like a Civil War token or something. Doesn't quite get there. Mount Hope Bridge Division. I wonder where in the world that is. But it does look like an American token. And that's sort of unusual. We don't get so many tokens too often, but today we do. This one says, also good for 1 fair. Might be the Pittsburgh. Yep, I've seen one of these before, but the other one was in a little bit better condition. This one's probably not worth more than 25 cents. 1922, nice to have that dated. Pittsburgh Railways, I think. Railways Co., something like that. But a little token there, and you could ride on it with one of these. So that makes 3 of them. Here's an aluminum 1 yen from Japan. I do have to say today's hunt has been a little bit quieter. I think I see some silver down there, though, so that'll be exciting to dig into. 1979, 5 pesetas here from Spain, and those were recently discontinued. 2021 was the last time, but there were millions and millions of euros in pesetas that never got redeemed in the coin form. So you always have to be careful. Germany stands out as one of the only ones that still honors it, as does the UK for a fair amount of its coinage. 1995, $5 from Jamaica. Again, we see, I don't know, the excellent Norman Manley. I'll tell you what Norman Manley was known for, what type of accomplishments he was involved in, but, again, I always try to deliver on that promise of learning history along with these ones. 2001, Czech Republic. one Karuna, and we see a nice crown there, a little republic, or not, it's actually not super little. And you know what? I'm not exactly sure what all the countries it borders. I think Czech Republic, I want to say it borders Germany and Poland, but then maybe something like Hungary on its other side, but I'll follow up. Prague is a beautiful city. I visited when I was quite young. 1989 Dominican Republic. We have the 25 centavos, and really elaborate design there. Cattle, hauling some maybe wheat, but it's that's pretty. I assume, or whether it's oxen. They're not too small, so that's a huge thing that they're carrying along. And that's what the Dominican Republic decides to showcase on their coin. Really like that, different nations get to express different things. Like this, the circumnavigation of the world by Sir Francis Drake on the Golden Hind, 1943 halfpenny there. King George VI, that is a big accomplishment. Sort of that naval, exploration, really, really, big in the formation of the world as we know it today. And then here, Japan, we have a 10 yen coin, one of the more abundant coins that you find all over world coin searches. This one's a little tougher to find. 5 centavos from Cuba. This would have been produced by the United States. They started making coins for Cuba in about 1915. So this was just a few years later. I believe the 250 there, they're trying to refer to fineness, but that's referring to the, I think, nickel content. Maybe nickel was a little bit more valuable than copper. In a copper nickel coin, they tried to do something there, but unlike silver, that metal is not worth much today. Certainly compared to back then, hasn't appreciated much. 2 pennies over here. This is 2 Australian pennies with what looks like some sort of an iguana or lizard flaring its beak. But you still see Queen Elizabeth II. She appears all over the world on different coins. Let's see, these are 2, that looks like 2 silver coins and something really old. So that looks like actually a much better finish than I expected, which is great. Right here we have a Tunj 2003, Tukun from Croatia. So I play on a water polo team, and one of my good friends is also from Croatia there, so I'll have to let him know that we got 1 Kuna Tukun. Nice little coin right there. And then we also have got a Portuguese 20 centavos, a little bit of corrosion, but I always think that these are really plain and beautiful coins, and this is no exception. I once got one of these in uncirculated condition, sent it off to grading, sold it for like $120, maybe profited like $30-40 total, but in uncirculated, people really want to pay up for this type of thing, and it's still a pretty coin, has nice relief and design. In the current state that it's in, here we've got our first silver coin, 1920, 10 cents from Canada. I think this is right around the time that they were switching over from 92.5% silver to 80% silver. So I'll update you with that information, but we see King George V back then. He had probably just recently assumed the throne, because 1936 is when King George the Sixth comes along. So I think that was pretty early into his reign. This one was really the standout, though. 1/2 Skilling, 1867, probably from Denmark or somewhere like it. Sweden, Scandinavian is what I'm trying to say. CLXV, that's something the 15th. And that crest is great, so really, really cool. I've never seen anything like it. I don't think that this is silver. This feels just like a small copper coin used to make change, but some of those countries experimented with pretty low silver counts, so it wouldn't totally shock me if it was. But that's probably our highlight of today's hunt. And then our other ones is going to be a 1 cent 1943 from the Netherlands, just such a classic, steel, World War II looking wartime currency. And then we'll round everything out here with Wilhelmina Koningin der Nederlanden, Curaçao, quarter golden, 1944. I think it's 64, maybe 72% silver. Now part of the, I think, Netherlands Antilles, and they have their own dollar. But this is like a Central American Caribbean island. So pretty far away from the original, Dutch homeland, but certainly not a part of it. Got between this. Our other cool European finds, and yeah, that really was the theme. Just so many neat ones today. It wasn't as flashy, I don't think, in terms of valuation, but it's really nice to break things up. And hey, like, not every half pound. Our last one was so good. Maybe this means our next hunt will be even better from a value perspective. Really excited to have been able to hunt this today. Now I'm going to go learn a little bit more about the history, and I'll see you next Tuesday, or 2 Tuesdays from now, with my next World Coin Search, or hopefully on some videos in between. Thanks for watching the video. I'd encourage you to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel to stay updated. I've also got Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, so you can follow me there. TreasureTownYT.com is the main channel website. Definitely give that a visit. I've got a lot of information about me up there and the channel. CoinGrabBag.com as well currently redirects there, but it's some good opportunities for very fair grab bags, both made by me and other sellers. A lot of different options, so that's a good way to support. There's also TreasureTownCoins.com. In the future, my coin dealing operation will be done out of that website. CoinMeltPrice.com for updates on the melt prices of your coins, both US and world. A lot of resources in that website. And then CoinsMetalsCards.com being developed right now as a marketplace and news source for coins, metals, cards, and collectibles in general. So I'll see you on my future videos. Looking forward to seeing you there, and hope you have a good day.